The sirens hadn't even faded when EMT Corey Williams stepped out of the ambulance onto the cracked pavement of the gas station parking lot. It was mid-afternoon in Southridge, hot enough for heat waves to shimmer off the pavement, and the emergency call had come in as possible dehydration and dizziness. Corey, tall and calm with steady hands and years of field experience, approached the scene with his usual professionalism. As he opened the back of the rig to grab a med kit, a police cruiser pulled in fast, tires squealing. Out stepped Officer Mark Landon, a stocky white cop with mirrored sunglasses and the look of someone who'd seen too many movies about authority. He sauntered over, chewing gum. "Didn't know Uber had uniforms now," he quipped, smirking at Corey as he passed. Corey glanced up but said nothing. Landon chuckled to himself. "Just saying. Never seen a driver look so serious." "Relax, man. It's not like you're a real doctor." The comment wasn't new. Corey had heard it before. Dismissive tones, undermining jabs, sideways glances. Not just from civilians, sometimes from the very people he worked beside. Still, he kept his focus. A woman in her 60s was seated on the curb, fanning herself. He knelt beside her, offered water, and began the evaluation. As always, he was professional, precise, compassionate. But the words from Officer Landon stuck. "You're not a real doctor." It wasn't just disrespectful. It was layered, loaded, and loud enough for the bystanders to hear. Later that night, after the shift ended, Corey vented to his partner. "You give your life to helping people. You do everything right. And somehow your skin still speaks louder than your training." His partner nodded. "One day someone like that is going to find out who you really are, and it's going to shake them." Corey didn't know that day would come so soon. 3 weeks later, a call came in from the dispatch center. "Pregnant woman in active labor, roadside emergency, mile marker 214. No time to wait. Corey and his partner hit the lights and rushed onto the highway. When they arrived, a car was pulled to the shoulder. A man in uniform was pacing outside it, clearly panicked. It was Officer Mark Landon. He didn't even register Corey at first. He was too focused on the scream coming from inside the car. "My wife! She's having the baby now. We didn't make it to the hospital. She's screaming. I think the baby's coming." Corey opened the passenger door. Inside was a woman in full labor, sweat across her forehead, breathing fast, hands gripping the doorframe. No time to transport, no time to wait. He looked at her. "Ma'am, I'm Corey. I'm an EMT. I've got you." She nodded through the pain. "Please, just help my baby." Corey turned to Landon. Their eyes locked. Recognition, shock, guilt. But Corey didn't say a word. He just got to work. With steady hands, calm voice, and years of training guiding him, Corey guided the birth of a baby girl right there on the roadside. He checked vitals, cleared airways, wrapped the child in a thermal blanket, and handed her to her mother. "She's healthy," he said softly. "You both did great." Mark Landon stood frozen. His tough exterior melted into silence. The man who once mocked Corey now looked at him as if seeing him for the first time. "You saved them," he said hoarsely. Corey finally spoke. "That's my job. Has always been." The hospital later confirmed that Corey's fast action prevented a potential complication. The baby was safe, the mother stable. A few days later, Corey was back on shift when a visitor came to the station. It was Landon. He wasn't in uniform. He had his newborn daughter in his arms. "I wanted to thank you," he said, "and apologize." Corey looked up. "I judged you, not because of anything you did, but because of who I thought you were. I mocked you, treated you like you were less. And then you delivered my daughter with more care than I deserved." He paused. "You didn't just save their lives. You reminded me what real strength looks like." Corey nodded, the words heavy with meaning. "It's not about proving myself to people anymore. It's about serving whoever needs help, even if they don't see me first." The two men shook hands, not because they had to, because growth had begun. Word of the roadside birth spread through the department, not just because of what happened, but how it happened, how grace answered insult, how professionalism outshined prejudice. Corey didn't want a medal, but what he got was better. At the next department ceremony, he was invited to speak. The crowd included EMTs, firefighters, nurses, and off-duty officers too. He said only this: respect isn't about rank or badge or title. It's about how you show up when people need you and when they don't. And then he sat down to quiet applause. Not loud, but honest. Officer Landon sat in the back row, his daughter resting on his chest.